So all of us have haters, doubters, and our own self-doubt. And while most people want to block that out, pretend it doesn't exist, I embrace it. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how I've utilized my haters and my doubters, and how some of my students have utilized their haters and doubters, namely Jack Kellogg. So I'll start with him. Check out this recent interview I just did with him. He's talking about his own family and friends who didn't believe in him and how he utilized that hate, that doubt to push him to the next level. I'll bring up, a point where I remember that day, and I remember you actually posted a few stories, and I think that which was incredible of you, where you kind of have this chip on your shoulder where you had family members or friends who told you what you could or couldn't do, and there was kind of like that glass ceiling ahead where it's like you're never going to amount to much, and you use that as motivation. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I think when you first get into trading, especially if you're, I'd say probably even more if you're younger, it's more of like, I don't think this is the right path for you. Or if you're somewhere in the middle of your life, maybe somewhere in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, it's more so like you shouldn't be doing this. You can't take the risk with the kids or this and that. And like somebody almost always is driving you away from the markets. And for me, a lot of family and friends would always drive me away from the markets because they didn't know about it. It's not what's taught in school. So they think they're doing their best job to protect you. But in all reality, they have no idea what the possibility is and what the opportunity is. But I did see what the opportunity was. I did come to the market and show up and see transparent, profitable traders like Tim Bertani, like Mark Cook, like Mike Cuddy, like all of these people in the room making hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, and I knew what was possible. So to finally be able to achieve it for myself was definitely had a big chip on my shoulder, because I could finally have something to show instead of just telling people that I was going to do it. I could finally show people that I was doing it. And for me, that gave me all the peace in the world, because I finally proved all the haters wrong.
Yeah, and I'm going to put this video on YouTube just to inspire people. But I remember your stories where like you have different brokerage account and you showed each brokerage account and you had like one word per story, and you're like, this is for all the haters, right? It was like this, one story, then the next story was like is, next story for. And so you really took that to heart. And, you said you were pretty tired at the end of the day, but like, I personally use my haters as inspiration. I always say, thank you, haters. Like, I wouldn't work this hard if I didn't have my haters, where they're like, you can't trade this, you can't create millionaires from scratch. And I'm like, let me roll up my sleeves, watch me. Did you use that? Did the haters and the doubters actually help push you further?
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, they're the ones that took my 100% effort to 150% effort. I wouldn't be able to put in 150% effort without them doubting me and hating me, because they make you push that much harder. I was putting in all my effort, but I think if I didn't have my dad in the back saying that I wasn't going to do it, or my friend saying that it was a scam or this and that, I wouldn't have pressed that extra 50% harder and really put everything aside, no matter what it was, to achieve what I knew was possible.
So for everybody watching, if you have family members, friends saying it's a scam, you can't do this, listen to Jack's story and thank your haters. Just as you'll see me do, like on social media, people usually like block their haters. I'm like, no, I highlight them and I'm like, thank you, please explain how this is fake. Please explain to me. And I love hearing conspiracy theories. But the cool thing is, like I said, we're just trading more times than not, winning more times than not. It's not like Jack wins 100% of the time. It's not like I win 100% of the time. But more times than not, you win and your account grows, your knowledge account and your brokerage account. How cool was that, right? It's amazing what you can do when you believe in yourself, when you continue on your path. Do not let your haters or doubters define you. Instead, what I find is that if you have that kind of like chip on your shoulder, I think that it can really help elevate you. As Jack just talked about, he didn't just give 100%, he gave 150% because in his mind, he's thinking about what his friends and family said. You can't do this, you can't do that. That helped push him. If you follow me on social media, I don't block out my haters or doubters. I actually embrace them. I always like retweet them or I post them on my Instagram stories and I always comment to them. Some people say that I'm a scam, they say that I'm a fake, and I'm always like, well, what's the scam? How am I fake? Do I not actually trade? What are all these 20 years of trades? Do I not have millionaire students? Are these 40 plus people fake? Do I not actually travel? There's a conspiracy theory that I'm only on a green screen all the time and I don't actually travel. And I always say to my haters, I say, entertain me with your conspiracy theories. Inevitably, they don't respond because they got nothing. They just want to hate. My first millionaire student, Michael Good, was actually my first hater as a teacher. So here is a screenshot of the blog post. Can we put up his blog post screenshot where he called me full of BS? And we'll post another screenshot. Are the comments still there? Do we have
the comments of you two talking?
We have comments going back and forth. I didn't just ignore the post. I didn't just block him out. I debated him. And he became my first millionaire student. He joined my challenge. He actually became a mentor in my challenge. You can click the link below if you want to join my challenge. But I think it's pretty cool when you can turn your haters into millionaires. Not only, did he become a millionaire, we're good friends. I recently just joined him and his wife for an anniversary trip to Japan. We had a great time. It's just pretty cool. So I'm proud to be real, but I will always answer my haters and critics because I am real. I don't have anything to hide. You see all my trades, you see my millionaire students, you see my travels. I'm here in the studio. Everyone's like picking at this little thing. Can they see this?
Yeah.
Can we zoom in? Is it possible to zoom in?
I'll take a picture of it.
Take a picture of this. They think that I have like something on my pants. I don't. I literally am a klutz. I walked into a hook. This was actually bloody a few months ago when I walked in because a hook just grabbed me. Look at these shoes. Can they zoom in? Can you see this? I need new sneakers too. My toes are going up against like the end of the sneakers. That's not good. I'm just going to be real with you. I also have, I have a whole, is it this sweater or is it another sweater? I don't know if you've seen different videos, but I wear like a blue sweater. One of them has a hole. Here we go. Look at the hole. Okay? I'm falling apart here. I'm not fake. I'm just busy. The stock market is on fire. We have new millionaires. As I'm filming this, shout out to Chase, my newest millionaire. Post a screenshot of Chase. I'm just trying to keep up. My clothes have holes in them. I don't care. I'm not that interested. What I'm interested in is teaching. And yes, I do need new clothes. It's on my to-do list. Yes, I need to lose weight. That's on my to-do list. I have a big to-do list. But number one on my to-do list is to teach and create more millionaire students. I don't forget about my haters. I don't forget about my doubters. I use them to push myself further. You think I care? If I have holes in my clothes, I could care less. What I care about is your education. I still remember November 1st, 2007, I did an interview with Reuters. Can we show a screenshot of this? There's an article, failed hedge fund manager tries again on the internet. I talked to this reporter for nearly 4 hours. We had a great talk. She pretended to be on my side. She was like, I really understand the ups and the downs, like why I closed my hedge fund, not due to losses, but because I realized that I needed rules and I realized that most people didn't have rules. I talked about everything. What did she lead with? Failed hedge fund manager tries again on the internet. Negative article. I don't forget that. That was, 2007, okay? I should forget about this. This was 17 years ago. I don't forget, okay? Jews have big ears like elephants. Elephants have great memories. I don't forget, and even as I'm thinking about that, I felt so betrayed after I talked to her. This was, what happens with many journalists. They pretend to be your friends. Everyone in the media, they pretend to be all positive. Then when it comes to reality, no different than Below Deck, where everyone was friends. I made $70,000 on the Below Deck yacht. They were like, wow, this is amazing. They didn't show any of it. They made me look like a douchebag. I made myself look like a douchebag. I'm used to the hate. I'm used to the negativity. But it helps inspire me. I personally would not work this hard as a trader. I would not work this hard as a teacher. I would not work this hard as a philanthropist. I work endless hours on my charity. Why? Because some people say that it's a fake. Some people say that it's a scam. And it's my honor to just be real. I actually have donated over $10 million through my charity foundation. We actually do have 120 schools worldwide, 56 in Bali. We have a documentary that I've been working on for 4 years in Bali. It's not done yet. It's on my to-do list. I really think that you should write down what your haters and critics and doubters say. I don't think that you should block it out. I think that you should really internalize it and really read it. I still can picture that article from 17 years ago. Failed hedge fund manager tries again on the internet. It wasn't all her fault. Not all reporters are so negative. I also got in a fight with her friend, Randall Lane. Don't get in fights with journalists, especially when they have other journalist friends. I wasn't the smartest back then. I'm still not the smartest right now. But I am proud to be real. And I'm proud of my charity. I'm proud of the millionaire students. I'm proud of the many lessons. And I think that more people should be real. I actually told Pascal and the film crew here, we have a whole studio and they're like fixing everything and they're like working on making this look like the best. And I'm like, I don't care what it looks like. I'm just going to be real. I actually told them to just make it look bad. Is that not right?
You asked me to cut off your head.
I'll tell you why. Because, can they hear what you're saying?
Yeah.
I told Pascal to just film it poorly because I was just curious to see if it's going to like turn people off or if it's going to lead to more people to actually click below to join the challenge because you for once realize that I'm just real. I don't know. We're going to show a screenshot of this studio in Austin where I interviewed 3 of my millionaire students. In this studio in Austin, I don't even know how they're in business. I don't even know like how they call themselves videographers because they literally filmed me and you see the 3 students, you see like the bottom half of one of the students, the top half of another student, and then like half of another student. And this is apparently what everyone saw on screen too. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wait a minute. This is a studio. You see what's on screen, but you're a video person. Your job is to take video. How do you take video and not show somebody's head? I made fun of like one of my millionaire students, Chris. I was like, oh, your hair's looking slick. You look like Wolverine. I didn't know that no one could see his head. I wouldn't have talked about his hair because we played the video and people were like, what does his hair look like? I didn't know. I figured that the studio was showing them. Anyways, the point is that if you're real in any industry, okay, you can really succeed. This industry, my stock trading industry, the video industry, Hollywood, social media, every industry is littered with fakes. And you can only fake it for so long until people start to realize, wait a minute, something's not on the up and up. So I encourage you to be real. I encourage you to find a skill that you love. And if you have haters or doubters, especially when you're real, use that. No different than if you watch the 10-part documentary on Michael Jordan, The Last Dance, right? Michael Jordan was very famous where like if you talk smack to him anywhere, even if you said one thing, he would focus on that and he would use it to take him to the next level. There was like a part of The Last Dance where like he's playing golf and someone said something like nasty to him and he wouldn't talk to them, he wouldn't look at that person and he shot like this amazing round of golf. A lot of the best athletes do this. Tom Brady was picked last in the NFL draft. He's obviously the GOAT, the most Super Bowls, won everything, and he won some record towards the end of his career. And they're like, what do you think about this career, this record? And he's like, not bad for somebody who's picked last in the NFL draft. He's still thinking about it. After all the awards, all the Super Bowls, he still has that chip on his shoulder. So whether you're Jack Kellogg, whether you're Tom Brady, whether you're a journalist who lies for a living, I want you to understand how you can utilize negativity for good. Don't just block out negativity. Don't pretend that it doesn't exist because it's everywhere. Don't pretend that fakes don't exist. They're everywhere. But the more real you can be, the more you can use that negativity to lift you up, the better you'll do. And that's today's tip. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you have haters, if you have doubters, if you have self-doubt, if you think that negativity, that bad stuff is holding you back. And now maybe if you see another way where it's like, wait a minute, let's get some good skills. Let's become an expert at whatever it is that you love. For me, it's stock trading and now teaching and charity and social media. I love doing it all myself and traveling, right? I don't fake any of my travels. I think that you can really kind of laugh. Like you see me smiling, like you can laugh at the misguided negativity that's out there, because there's a lot of people who don't have the proper perspective. They're very narrow-minded. They're not bad people. They just don't know what they don't know, right? Like I can see where some people say, oh, Tim Sykes says he creates millionaires from scratch. Yeah, right. Oh, he's been to 100 plus countries. Yeah, right. I can see how people think that this is fake. This is why I'm just so proud to be real. So I will have holes in my clothes. I don't want to scare you, but I actually was on a yacht a few days ago. I slipped down some slippery steps and my whole leg is like black and blue in here. I'm not going to show you that, but trust me, it's black and blue in here. I literally fell down, got stopped by a pole, dropped the phone overboard. Luckily, shout out to JB. He was in the water. He grabbed my phone. My phone is safe. But I'm a klutz. Am I going to hide it? Am I going to pretend to be perfect? No, I'm going to be real with you. And I can't tell you how much better it is in whatever profession you choose to just be real, to not pretend to have to be perfect all the time, because nobody is perfect. And the closer you can be to reality, the better you'll feel, the more laid back you can be. I know a lot of people where they're putting on like this whole air of invincibility, and it's a tough way to live, right? Like you're always afraid of being discovered, of always being like exposed as a fake. I don't know how fakes live with themselves. I can imagine why they're so sad and why, pharmaceutical use is at all-time highs. You just don't need that life. You can just be real. But by all means, become an expert. Study your ass off. Get very good at whatever it is that you love so you don't have to be a fake. A lot of people, they don't study enough, they don't work hard enough, they're not true experts. And then they pretend to be experts. And there you have a problem, because when you pretend to be an expert and you're not an expert, you're living a contradictory lifestyle. I'm very proud to have spent decades learning about the stock market, decades traveling, decades, well, not decades now, 7 years in the charity world, but many years really focusing on what I love. And after enough years, you're comfortable talking about a subject where you don't have to be perfect with everything, but people can see if you're real. People can see, if you have, value to offer. So I'm proud to be real. I'm proud to be a klutz. I'm proud to be a teacher. Click the link below if you want to join my challenge. Fake people, don't even bother, because we're just not going to get along.